Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we are back with another slime video. And the New Year's banner has dropped. The new Rimuru and new Shion. And they seem to be decently good, but there are a few caveats. So today we'll kind of very quickly go over what they do and why or why not people should summon for them. First off, let's check out the actual banner itself. So we do have Rimuru and Shion, and then we also have Fire Milim, Light Raphael, Light Milim, Light Lumi. So those are the featured characters, not a lot of them. And, Milim is okay. She got a skill fusion, which makes her still, I think, okay. Raphael, still a really good unit. Milim is decent. Not the best, but she's decent on a blue team. And then Lumi is really only useful for like 2 or 3 stages at a time. And then she's pretty much not used. So she is objectively the worst unit on this banner because she's limited to pretty much one team. And yeah, so that's about it. But also remember that on New Year's Day or New Year's Eve, we are going to get a selector ticket where you can just pick one of these characters alongside Protector Shuna and Protector Rimuru from the fire meta that Milim came with. So your objective really should not be summoning for these characters. If you happen to pull them, then yeah, cool, whatever. But obviously the prizes are Shion and Rimuru. So what do they do? I guess we can just stay here. What do they do? In case you didn't watch anything, Rimuru does in his own buff, which let's go to an actual thing. Rimuru has a personal buff. He is a single target light unit, physical. So if you have a lot of physical supporting units, then good. But he's a 40% attack buff and a 60% weakness strike for 2 turns. So multiple turns you can have this. And then his second skill changes his own orbs to rainbow and gives himself an orb damage bonus of 10%. You can only use the skill once. The rainbow orbs are the exact same thing that the Visions of Coleus Rimuru had for the 2nd anniversary, except this Rimuru needs his own orbs to convert to rainbow, while the other Rimuru needed blue orbs to convert. So they are for different use cases. But it is the same objective where a full 6 or a rainbow orb gives you max protection, max skill points, and max alt gauge all rolled up into one. So it's really nice, and it makes RNG not as bad. So he's pretty self-sufficient. He's got an attack buff and a weakness strike. It's not crit, it's not pierce, so you can take him into any stage with any team that focuses on a certain thing, and he can do good damage. And then the Unity Orbs definitely does take away a lot of orb RNG, but he does need his own orbs to do such a thing. So there's a little bit of play around there. His Valor trait is nerfing blue gauges, not super big. His actual trait, if you pull dupes, is skill points every 2 turns, which can be good, especially on a burst-focused team, which this is. And then his EX board, he gets crit and synergy power with Diablo, who is the free-to-play unit. So, Rimuru, I think, in a vacuum, on paper, is a decent DPS unit. But, as we know, this game does not favor DPS units very much. They're good for 1 or 2 metas, here and there, but then they pretty much fall off, and only people care about the supports to, support the new DPS. And then when that DPS gets replaced, people still want the supports to use on for the next DPS. So that is the hiccup with true DPS units. So Rimuru looks good now, might fall off later. And then we have Protector Shion, who I got stupid lucky on. I haven't even got her like actual dupe from the bingo, so she's actually 116. But she's increasing New Year's Blessing damage to Dark, giving generic 20% to physical characters, and then from turn 2, turn 3, turn 4, and turn 5, she will give you an extra 30 skill points at the start of the turn, just automatically, passively. And this offsets her skill, which doesn't give you 40 skill points when you use her, like all the other orange converters do, but she is still like the other orange converters in that she does 3 blues and 3 greens and 6 oranges, and she gives guaranteed synergy and guaranteed crit to all physical allies, which is pretty powerful because you're double buffing, right? And you're passively getting skill points, and that sounds really cool, and it is pretty powerful. But you have to remember that orange metas do not come along very often. It's been about 4-ish months since we got the last orange meta, Wielder of Magic, and obviously they're magic units, so they don't really work on this team. And then before that, what was it? The Fire 2.0 meta right after the first anniversary. So orange metas, not heavily favored in this game. Most stages nerf orange orbs in some way, shape, or form. There are a few where they're not, but there's more often than not, oranges are not a good orb to use. They get like 80% or 100% nerfed. So pulling for these two units, I don't think is a really good option for you. If you have a team, if you have the Idol team, if you have the Visions of Coleus team, you can automatically clear like 90% of the content in the game, minus like the Inferno battles that come with each meta, right? Because they're very heavily focused towards the new meta, and Jubilee, which will come out at the end of January, right? If you don't give a shit about those, and you have a team that can clear, Tempered Edge and Crucible and Conquest and at least the event stuff, I really can't recommend people summon for this meta. The next time we're going to get an orange meta, who knows, but it's probably going to be a while, 4 or 5 months, so you won't see oranges a lot. Rimuru again is going to get kind of pushed to the side because he's a DPS unit. We don't have any supports yet. Diablo, the free-to-play unit, is very heavily limited to New Year's Blessing team because both his skills only really work on New Year's characters. And at the end of the day, it's like, if you have a team that works, then I would just run that, and I would save your crystals for something else. We know that the free-to-play, or not the free-to-play, but the next two units are the summonable New Year's Milim and the summonable Carnation Shinsha. If you're interested in those units, or you at least want to know what their kits are before you summon, then I would just wait, right? I don't see any reason why people should be summoning right stat now, except for the simping fact that this is our first EX Shion ever, which is crazy on its own right. But apart from that, like, she's going to be really good in Valor Cup. Make no mistake. She will be probably one of the strongest units in Valor Cup, which is great. But Valor Cup is a very small part of this game overall, and it doesn't give the rewards like other stages do if they're their first time clears, right? Ranked Valor Cup doesn't give you crystals. And until they revamp it, which is coming next month, we don't know what it's going to do. And if you already have a good Valor Cup team, which can, get you by, and you can get the 5 crystals, you can get to Legend every month, because obviously playing bots is not truly difficult until you get to Ranked. Like, why summon for Shion if she's going to just do what you already do anyways and still not really work that well in all the events that orange teams just don't work well in? So that's the whole thing, is that the summonable, like the featured units aren't super crazy. Again, Raphael is good still. Milim is okay. Lumi is not good. Milim is okay. Rimuru is okay, but will get power crept out and pushed aside. Shion is good in a vacuum, but she will also get pushed aside when they drop the next 6 banners of green and blue focused orbs. So I recommend waiting, seeing what Milim and Shin should do at least. And if you don't like any of it, and you're not really big on all of this, I honestly would just save your crystals. It sucks because they drop so many banners, and Shion is big waifu. People like Milim. I like Milim. I'm gonna summon a lot for that Shinsha because it's her new Carnation mode. But that's personal preference. If you have no stake in this game or this banner and this meta as a whole, save. Do it. And this video will probably go up before these Idolmaster banners and stuff go away. If you're still hunting for like Protector Rimuru, like if you have the Idol team, you can clear 98% of the content in the game. You can probably clear Inferno 3 beatdown battle going on right now because it doesn't nerf greens. So if you don't have Shuna, she's going to be really good moving forward in the future because she's got the alt swap to greens and she's got the synergy buff, which she's the only battle character that does that. Shizuka is a really good stacking unit you can put on pretty much any team. You don't need to be on a green team to take advantage of her. Rimuru is obviously the whole reason why you get invincibility in the first place. Mirai is the worst unit from that entire meta. She is not necessary. So if you have Shuna, if you have Shizuka, you don't have Rimuru, and you're like, it's the only team that I have because I just started during the Idolmaster campaign, I would probably tell you to summon for Rimuru over summoning for Shion. Quite honestly, because she can guarantee, or Rimuru can guarantee that you will not die in any content, anywhere, because you'll be invincible, right? Shizuka is a good, all-around stacking unit. She's got damage buffs that will make, your Sparkle teams hit harder. Shuna is a really good unit for any green-focused team moving forward. So if you still need Rimuru, Shizuka, or Shuna, I would summon for them. Shizuka, Mirai, and Rimuru are never coming back. So also keep that in mind. Shuna will return on future banners, and to prove such a thing, we'll look at Shizuka's banner, and we'll go down to the very fine print at the bottom, where it says, Shizuka Mogami, the Fairy Star, will not be added to other recruits once this recruit has ended. This recruit may appear again as just a dedicated Shizuka, which we've never gotten a rerun on Konosuba, so this is actually not true. But she will not be added to other recruits once this recruit has ended. The same thing can be said for Rimuru and Mirai once we go, again, all the way to the goddamn bottom. Mirai and Rimuru will not be added to other recruits. However, if you click on Shuna's banner, all the way down, that message is not there. It says this recruit may appear again, but it doesn't specifically call out Shuna, the festive idol or whatever her name is, will not be put in other banners. So Shuna will come back eventually. I don't know when, but she will come back. Shizuka, Mirai, Rimuru will never come back. 99.99999% will never come back. So if you need Rimuru still to make the pretty Sparkle team work, I would continue summoning for him over Shion and Rimuru, because you'll probably get more value in the long run out of having Rimuru than you will from Shion, because orange stages are not looked upon very fondly in this game. But that is my overall opinion. Again, you don't have to follow it, but I really, really heavily recommend free-to-play players not summon on this banner, because I don't think it's really going to help you that much in the future. It'll be good for now, and it will never be good again. Except for very, very specific one-off scenarios. Just like all the orange metas. All the other ones. But if you did happen to summon, let me know how you did in the comments below. But that's it for me, guys. Take it easy, and I will see you all later.